Welcome. Today we're diving into the life of E.J. Waggoner. Before he became this really defining figure in theology, he was actually Dr. Elliot Joseph Waggoner, an MD.
That's right. It's quite a pivot.
Yeah, profound one. We really want to track how, the disciplined world of 19th century medicine might have set the stage for him becoming this, pretty radical and influential minister later on.
Well, his initial path was definitely science-heavy. He was at Battle Creek College, 1874 to 77, studying the classical track, sure, but the key thing is he was also getting these deep tutorials in anatomy and physiology.
Oh, interesting. Who from?
Directly from Dr. J.H. Kellogg. So this wasn't just like reading books. It was hands-on, methodical observation, scientific rigor, learning how to synthesize information.
Right, that rigorous thinking. But even that didn't quite save him from a kind of telling moment in college, did it? There was that debate.
Ah, yes, the debate, whether the ancients were superior to the moderns.
And he lost, but not really on substance.
No, not at all. Apparently the opposition just decided to ham it up. That's the quote.
Ham it up.
Yeah, basically make the audience laugh so they'd vote for them just for the entertainment value.
So Waggoner lost because they clowned around. That seems... it may be a bit disillusioning for someone serious.
He seems to have decided then to, quote, shun the venue of public face-to-face debate.
Shun it entirely. But he becomes a major public voice.
Well, he shifted his approach. Instead of debate, he focused on positive proclamation.
Meaning?
Just presenting the truth as he saw it, clearly, logically, without getting drawn into, stagecraft or just reacting to opponents. Focus on the message itself.
Okay. That makes sense. That desire for clarity seems to carry through. He finishes his medical degree. Who was that again? Not Michigan.
Right. There's a bit of confusion in the records. He started at Michigan, Ann Arbor, in 75, but didn't finish there. He actually graduated from Long Island College Hospital in Brooklyn, New York. That was 1878. Might have done some work at Bellevue, too.
Okay, so MD in hand, 1878. Then what? Straight into ministry.
Not quite. There's this period, maybe 78 to 82, where he's wrestling with it. He practiced medicine, taught a bit. There's even an anecdote about him pulling his nephew's tooth. And he was actually recruited for the rural health retreat out in St. Helena, California.
So the medical path was still very much open, even pulling him west.
Oh, definitely. There's a quote reflecting his internal conflict. He loves to preach and also loves the practice of medicine. Real tension there.
So what breaks the tension? What tips the scale?
He does move to California by June 1880, practicing medicine in St. Helena. But the real turning point, the radical shift, comes in October 1882.
Okay, what happened?
A camp meeting in Healdsburg. And there he experienced what's described as a remarkable vision of Christ.
A vision?
Yes. And that seems to have been the catalyst. It triggered his complete transition into full-time ministry. No more splitting focus.
Wow. And things moved fast after that, didn't they?
Incredibly fast. By the spring of 83, just months later, he's assistant editor for the Signs of the Times.
A major church publication.
Exactly. And on top of that, he's teaching at Healdsburg College and pastoring the Oakland church.
That's a heavy load.
It really is.
Okay, so here's something really important, I think, for you listening. What was it about his message then in the mid-1880s? He emphasized Christ-centered messages and forgiving grace. Why was that such a big deal?
Well, you have to understand the context. A lot of Adventist preaching at that time was very law-centered.
Meaning focused on rules, requirements?
Yeah, strict standards, obedience, almost kind of legalistic focus. Waggoner came in and just shifted the spotlight entirely to Christ. Specifically, the immediate, freely available forgiving grace of God through Christ. It became the absolute center, relieving immediate forgiveness. It just stood out like a flashbulb in a dark room, as you said earlier.
But that intensity, that workload, it took a toll.
Oh, absolutely. There was an instance, late 85 or early 86, where he was completely prostrated with brain fever, just collapsed from the strain.
A brain fever. Sounds serious. And he wasn't perfect personally either, even during this influential period.
No, and this is crucial context. Ellen White, who was, a key spiritual leader for the denomination, actually critiqued him during this time.
Really? For what? Despite his talent?
Yeah. Things like neglecting his father, who was struggling, and apparently misguidedly supporting his father in some criticisms about a revival at Healdsburg.
So a complex picture, not just the rising theological star.
Exactly. He was human. Facing immense pressure, juggling multiple roles, and dealing with his own shortcomings, it makes you wonder.
Wonder what?
Well, maybe his later intense focus on grace and forgiveness was partly shaped by his own need for it, his own struggles.
That's an interesting thought. And despite these early criticisms from Ellen White,
Yeah.
later on, she gave his theological message really hearty and sustained support. So she separated the message from some of the earlier personal issues, it seems.
So bringing it all together then, you have this intense preparation,
Yeah.
college, the discipline of medicine, the internal struggle, the overwork, even the personal faults.
It all feeds into the unique person who emerges,
Yeah.
ready to proclaim these glad tidings, this message of Christ's righteousness, in a way that really resonated.
It feels almost providential, the way of his move away from a potentially successful medical career towards this pretty controversial theological path.
It does, and it makes you think about that medical training again.
Yeah.
Diagnosing physical ailments, demanding clarity, synthesis, understanding complex systems.
So here's a final thought for you to consider. Did that rigorous, disciplined study of anatomy, of science, maybe inadvertently equip him? Did it give him the tools to dissect and articulate complex theological ideas like the very mechanics of grace with such, well, unusual clarity and impact? Something to mull over.